Two people from Bemidji have been indicted for allegedly conspiring to distribute fentanyl in and around the Red Lake Indian Reservation.
According to court documents, between October and November of 2023, 28-year-old Derek John Patty and 20-year-old Robin Lee LeSueur conspired to distribute fentanyl throughout the state of Minnesota. On November 2nd, Patty and LeSueur were found in possession of more than 40 grams of fentanyl.
The two made their initial appearances in U.S. District Court on August 2nd. They're both charged with one count of conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and one count of possession with intent to distribute fentanyl.